The very first thing I want to talk to you about is criteria. Those are the values. Those are the things that people say that motivate them deeply. And these are hot buttons. What do I mean by hot buttons? Hot buttons are specific words and phrases that incite a physical and an emotional reaction. Now, don't believe me, okay? Think about your family. Everyone in your family knows your negative hot buttons. They know that all they have to do is say this and you will explode. Like it's just some words, right? Like what's going on with there? And if you have kids, they spend all day long pushing their siblings' hot buttons to see if they can get them to explode. Like, what? You had felt so emotional about some words? Well, people actually use specific phrases and words. They repeat them and they stress them, and that's an indicator that this is a highly held value for them. And if someone accidentally steps on someone's criteria or their values, it hurts deeply. So think about times when you tried to say something important to someone else and they dismissed it. You know how that feels. So one of the very important things that financial planners need to do is find out what those are. Right? Now, I remember a few years ago when my kids had finally left home. Did I say finally? When my kids had finally left home, and I decided I wanted to get rid of my mummy-mobile. You know, the stinky old mummy-mobile with the leftover smell of sports equipment and hockey bags. You know, we're in Canada here, so I don't have to explain the smell of a hockey bag. Right? And it was rusty, and I didn't buy a new car for ages because I was just waiting till I didn't have to deal with that anymore. And my husband and I, now my husband is a German engineer. He lives in Berlin, and we go back and forth. He and I went out to buy me a car. I wanted a luxury car. So of course we had to go to all the German dealerships first. Natürlich. And what shocked me is out of the 7 dealerships we went to, because we went to others than Germans as well, although when we went into the American dealerships, he grumbled. I was shocked that out of all these professional salespeople, only one of them asked me, Shelley, what do you want in a car? What's important to you about this car? Now, the BMW guy, he went to the trouble to explain to me the philosophy of the BMW. Do you know the philosophy of BMW? Well, you're about to find out. So he said, okay, the philosophy of the BMW is feel the road. I thought, is he looking at me? Is he looking at me? Because I had a list. On my list was, my car needs to drive like honey. That's kind of the opposite of feel the road. So it had to drive like honey. I wanted to be hugged by my new luxury car. I wanted a place to put all my lady things in the car, which there is never any place to put your lady things in the car. You've noticed that, right? And I wanted to be able to close my car, look around the parking lot, and decide that my car was the most beautiful car in the parking lot. Okay? I mean, fairly simple things I wanted, right? So maybe it wasn't a coincidence, or maybe it was, that the only person who said to me, Shelley, what are you looking for in a car? What's important to you? That's the person who sold me a car, right? And in your financial planning process, in a normal sales process, you need to start with that. Courtney called it purpose, right? It's so important because this is the gut level emotional things that make us decide yes or no about what we want, okay? It's the core, it's the heart of the matter. So you want to know what car I bought, right? It's the most beautiful car in any parking lot. This is me taking reception of my A4. You'll notice it is blue. Apparently this is Aruba blue. Now, some people here have informed me that I'm wearing cobalt blue, which I wasn't quite sure of how you call this blues, but the car is Aruba blue. So there you go. And you can see how important criteria really is.